If I told you my story, you would hear hope that wouldn't let go. And if I told you my story, you would hear love that never gave up. And if I told you my story, you would hear life, but it wasn't mine. If I should speak, then let it be of the grace that is greater than all my sin, of when justice was served and where mercy wins, of the kindness of Jesus that draws me in. Oh, to tell you my story is to tell of Him.
Hi, my name is Tia Sanford. I am a 39-year-old single mother of two boys. They're both seniors in high school, be graduating this year. I just want to say a little bit about what God has done for me. This past year has been really, I don't have words for what it's been this past year. February 27th, I went for a run. I had been using methamphetamines for 2 years, pretty chronically. It got so bad. I was in a horrible marriage, very abusive, and I got to where I was using intravenously about 6 times a day. My faith in God was that of a mustard seed. I'd always had that, but like, I was losing it. I was losing my kids. I was losing me. Losing my faith and just losing sight of anything that mattered. Living a double life, because my husband, he was a dealer, and again, very violently destructive, abusive mentally, to both my children and I in our home, and it was just horrible. But February 27th, I went for a run to a friend's house who just lived just maybe a mile from my house. And I had cut through a field, and but it was my oldest son's birthday, Gatlin. And I cut through a field, and I just remember thinking, like, wow, is this it? Like, what am I doing? What are you doing, Tia? Because I had just done a shot of meth, um, probably the biggest one that I'd ever done in my life. And so I took off running away from it and towards it at the same time. It's just, I can't really explain that feeling. But I was just trying to numb myself. Uh, in that run, in the middle of that field, I dropped to my knees and was overcome by the Lord. Um, I just heard him, no more, Tia, no more. It's over. And um, in that moment, my friend that I was going to, he drove by and he seen me down in the field. And it was just like this huge weight was lifted off of me. I knew right then and there that I was going to be okay, that everything was going to be okay, that I was going to follow through with this divorce, that wasn't the life for me, that Tia was going to come back, that I was going to get the old me that I knew, that was just happy and healthy and very much involved with her children and in school. And just someone to be proud of. And so February 27th was the last day that I shot up methamphetamines. I continued to use until March 11th. And on March 11th, I hopped on a plane in Joplin, Missouri, and I went to Bakersfield, California to rehab there for 45 days. There was intense counseling, intense therapy classes, just like really good rehabilitation. I recommend that to everybody, really, because it truly does help. If you want it, it will work. It was then whenever my faith was rebuilding, and I started to believe more and more. And so therefore I have created a relationship with God since then. We're super strong. I was there for 45 days, and whenever I came back, my violent husband was there waiting for me at my home that I had left. My kids went to stay with their dad. And so whenever I came home, I let my brother stay there. He was still using. He destroyed our home. So therefore, when I came home, we didn't really have a home to come home to. And so me and my boys, we went to a shelter for 3 months. And I got into the RU program whenever I came back here, which is phenomenal. I love Roy and Renee, and they are a huge part of my continued sobriety. And like I said, I have a relationship with God now. I am a member of a church in Fairland at the Assembly of God, which they are phenomenal. I love everybody there. God has done so much for me. He brought me out of the darkness that I thought that I was stuck in forever. And I just thought that that was the way, but I knew better. And so that mustard seed of faith that I used to have is now like that. I mean, I have so much faith in God now. And I just want to say one of my favorite verses out of the Bible that I think will help everybody, which is Isaiah 55:7. It's for those who feel like, you're too far gone, that you've done too much or seen too much or been part of too much or just not believed or lost your faith or any of that. It says, let the wicked forsake his ways and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, and our God will have mercy upon you and will abundantly pardon, which means like all of that you thought that you couldn't be forgiven for, or all of the shame and the guilt and all of the blame and just all of that baggage, all of the load that you carry around, that you just feel is always going to be there, and that you're not worthy, that you are, and that God loves you so very much. I mean, if you have kids, you know how you feel about your children. Just imagine that times like a trillion, and that's the love that God has for us. And he's just amazing, and he's always there. So don't ever forget that.
Oh, to tell you my story.